There are moments in life when the weight of pain feels unbearable. Not only the pain of the body, but the quiet ache of the soul, loss, failure, disappointment, and the endless questioning of why. But pain, if we allow it, becomes our teacher. It strips away illusions, it shows us what truly matters, and in that silence, when the noise of the world fades, we find the mirror of the self. The Stoics taught that we do not control what happens, only how we respond, and in this truth, there is freedom. Pain is not our enemy, it is the fire that forges character. It is the sculptor that reveals who we are beneath the stone. When we stop resisting, we discover that suffering holds a hidden gift, the chance to grow, to deepen, to become whole. Look to the trees that bend in the wind. They do not curse the storm. They endure, they sway, and through each season they root themselves deeper in the earth. So too must we. When we reflect upon our struggles, we learn patience. When we accept our wounds, we find wisdom. And when we rise again after falling, we embody strength no one can take from us. Self-awareness is not born in comfort, but in the quiet confrontation with pain. It whispers, "This is who you are, and this is who you are becoming." Let the stillness of nature remind you. Every sunset was once the death of a day, yet it brings the promise of dawn. So it is with you. Every pain you endure is shaping you, guiding you, awakening you to the self that waits beyond suffering. We search for meaning in joy, but it is in pain that meaning finds us. The Stoics never promised a life without struggle. They promised only this, that we could endure, that we could rise, that we could live in harmony with reason, no matter the storm. Seneca wrote that suffering becomes lighter when we stop seeing it as punishment and start seeing it as practice. Each trial is a rehearsal of the soul, a sharpening of the inner blade. The more we resist, the more we break. The more we accept, the more we bend. And in bending, we become unbreakable. What is self-awareness but the courage to look inward, to see ourselves not as we wish to be, but as we are? The impatient heart, the restless mind, the fragile ego. And yet beneath these layers there is the quiet strength of being itself. When you know yourself, you cannot be ruled by fear. When you understand your weaknesses, you cannot be easily deceived. And when you accept your pain, you are free from its chains. Imagine standing by the sea, waves crash against the shore again and again. Each wave is like the hardships of life, relentless, inevitable, but you are not the wave, you are the shore, enduring, steady, shaped by the waters, but never destroyed. This is awareness. To know the difference between what strikes you and what you are. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The emperor, surrounded by war, plague, and betrayal, still turned inward, not for escape, but for grounding. His journals were not complaints, but reminders. That character, not circumstance, defines a man. And so, let us take our pain and make it a companion. Not a burden, but a guide. Each disappointment teaches us detachment. Each wound deepens our compassion. Each ending prepares us for beginnings. Without pain, we would drift in illusions of permanence. We would mistake comfort for growth. But pain wakes us. It calls us to live consciously. It reminds us that nothing is ours to keep, and so everything is ours to cherish. Self-awareness grows not in distraction, but in stillness. Sit with your suffering. Do not numb it with endless noise. Do not cover it with false smiles. Let it speak. Let it reveal its lesson. The Stoics did not turn away from mortality. They faced it. they reminded themselves daily. You may leave life right now, not to bring fear, but to bring clarity. For when death is accepted, life is lived fully. Ask yourself here and now, if all you have is this breath, this moment, this step, how will you walk it? Will you stumble weighed down by fear, or will you walk with dignity, knowing you chose virtue over despair? The answer shapes not tomorrow, but eternity. Look again to the forest. Its oldest trees have weathered centuries. Lightning strikes, fires, winters without mercy, and yet they stand. Their rings tell the story of hardship, but also of endurance. No tree grows tall without storms. No person grows wise without trials. We are the same. Our scars are not weaknesses. They are the rings of our becoming. In the quiet of reflection, we begin to see pain differently, not as an interruption of life, but as the very soil in which wisdom grows. Joy may bring sweetness, but pain gives depth. It carves space in us, so that joy, when it returns, may fill us more completely. And when the weight feels too great, remember, you are not alone. Every soul has walked through suffering. Every heart has known loss. Even the strongest have been broken. And it was in that breaking that they found their truest strength. Think of the mountain battered by wind and snow. Its surface is scarred, its peaks weathered by countless storms, yet it remains silent and unshaken. So too must we become, firm in principle, rooted in virtue, unmoved by the chaos around us. Pain shows us impermanence. The body ages, the world changes, people leave, and moments fade. And yet, beneath this endless tide, there is something unbreakable, our capacity to choose how we meet each moment. Epictetus was born a slave. His body was broken, but his mind was free. He saw clearly what was his to govern and what was not, and in that clarity, he found peace. When pain arrives at your door, do not ask, why me? Instead ask, what can I learn? What strength is waiting to be revealed? For even grief has its lessons. Loss teaches us to cherish what is here, to hold lightly what cannot last. Failure teaches humility, reminding us that we are students of life, forever learning. And rejection teaches us that our worth is not granted by others, but discovered within. Self-awareness grows when we sit with pain, not as an enemy, but as a messenger. It asks us, what illusions are you clinging to? What truths are you avoiding? When we face this honestly, we are reborn. We see ourselves not as fragile beings, but as vessels of resilience. We realize that life is not happening against us, but for us, shaping us into what we are meant to become. Look again to nature. The forest that burns in fire returns greener in spring. The river that carves stone creates valleys of great beauty. Even the night sky, vast and silent, reminds us that darkness is the canvas for light. So too with our lives. Our struggles are not endings, but beginnings unseen. Every scar is proof not of defeat, but of survival. Every wound holds within it the seed of wisdom. In your quiet reflection, do not run from pain. Invite it to sit beside you. Listen to its voice, but do not let it command you. You are the master of your reason, the captain of your soul. This is the way of Stoicism, to live with clarity, with virtue, with strength. Not because life is easy, but because it is difficult.